Hi friends, this reflection is for the 19th Sunday of Ordinary Time. Now looking at this reading as we continue with the Bread of Life discourse. We're about halfway through it, I guess. Yeah, probably. But anyway, what we see here is that there's another part to it, and I cannot help but think about when Jesus calls us to persevere, to believe in him. You know, we look at the previous 2 weeks. First week, 2 weeks ago, we hear the passage about Jesus feeding the 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish, right? Last week, Jesus talks a little bit more about people seeking the food that's going to nourish them. This week, Jesus silenced the naysayers, so to speak. And let's face it, everyone's going to have a naysayer in our lives. But the question is, how do you plan to tell them to shut up? Not necessarily tell them to shut up, but how do you plan to prove them wrong? Politics, sports, pop culture, entertainment. They always have these people that doubt your abilities. And let's face it, I have people that doubt me. Surely there have been people that have doubted you. So the question is, how do you plan to overcome those doubters? How do you plan to silence them? How do you plan to, not really, in your face say, yo, I did it. I mean, if you could do that, that's great. But what Jesus teaches here as we continue the Bread of Life discourse is that, he has people that are saying, oh, who is this guy? Who is he to say that, we could eat his flesh and blood and all that? Jesus, true food and drink, leads us out of the desert where weakness saps our will and gives us the strength to pursue the road to eternal life on the mountain of God, the heavenly Jerusalem. In itself, my friends, we must strive for the spiritual food that satisfies our hungry hearts. And let's face it, our soul desires them. Jesus is the bread of life. And every time we receive him, we grow closer to him. We go closer to God. We would never go hungry. When we look at the book of Kings, Elijah, of course, he could have easily given up, but God miraculously guided him to the point where he miraculously provided. And God will provide for you. Rise above the naysayers and strive to eat the food God has made for you, especially what he sacrificed so we can be saved. God bless.